Oh, I can't get all this fucking hair off my face tonight. Get off my face. There we go. That's a little better. Glasses need cleaned. What did she do? Seriously, what did she do? There we go. Hi guys, how we doing tonight? Another night of streaming. No raiding tonight. This is a very chill stream. We are going to farm some shit, materials, we're going to make some armor for transmog, and we are going to have a good night. Had a very rough, heroic raid last night. Oh, what is everybody tonight? What is going on? Okay. Hopefully everybody had a good day. We are almost to Friday. I'm very excited for that. Get into the weekend. Maybe I'll stream a little different on the weekend too. Maybe we'll go with a longer one. As we keep grinding away on here, trying to figure out what in the hell I want to do with this stream. Randy Pandy's over in the other room watching a movie on her Discord right now. Very exciting. I believe it's a horror movie tonight. So I'm sure she'll be popping in to give me updates on the movie, to let me know how things are going. Let's see here. What am I doing with this stuff? Let's go to Retribution Paladin, because I don't know best in slot for Retribution this expansion. Ret Paladin. Best Ret Paladin. What do I have? Gear. See what we got overall. Okay, the necklace is no good. Vigilant protectors for the wrist. No, those are crafted items as always. What are you looking at? I don't recognize this mirror of fractured tomorrows. Let's see what that is. No, it's a trinket. Where are my trinkets? Oh, here they are. It's a B. Unused secondary stat. That gets a B at overall. Well. Or I can have 6 of these, which might come in handy. I don't even know what I'm rocking right now. Let's see here. So that's an A1 for him. Pips. What is Pips? Pips is an A as well. One for single target, one for AoE. So we'll keep those for right now. I already have that. And those are just fine as is. No weapon though. I have a real hard time getting weapons to drop out of here. I think we're going to go with this. I know it sounds stupid given that I'm not geared real well. Kind of is what it is though. Alright, so we got 6 of these. Let's see what we can do. Do the worm upgrades if I need to. We'll hold on to those for now, though. Anywho, he's going to be my farmer tonight. We're going to take him and go farm some stuff. I got no mail, so I don't have to worry about that. You know what? Let's check room and bags. 16 slots. What are these? I don't even know what half this shit is. Oh, no shit. He must have been doing some PvP at some point. Okay. I forget what they do half the time. Jeweler shit. Oh. Evidently. We're killing people in the other room, in case you didn't know. That's what she does when she doesn't stream, is murder innocent victims in the back room. So you'll hear screams bleed through my mic every once in a while. Alright, so clean that up. Let's deposit, see what disappears. Now we've got room. This is a jewel crafter, so that's why you see all the jewel crafting shit here. Only a few things that aren't really jewel crafting, but I'll just do try to organize all my stuff as best I can with my crafters and things. So I'll store all the shit with them, move them all from other characters over, etc. Alright, let's see what we can do. I think we're going to go to Winter Spring. See what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Now this is a new week, so while we do this, I'm going to take a shot. Even if it is LFR and there's less than a 1% chance that maybe I can get this legendary axe to drop on one of my characters. I wonder what happened in the movie, though, for her to scream that loud. She was super loud. Alright, so we said we're going to Winter Spring. What I am doing is farming mats for the new transmog stuff that came out with the Next Ramus Tier 3 sets. They also had a set of frost resist gear that I would like to have, even if I don't ever wear it, because it is dated. So we're going to go farm that for a while. I still need... Ooh, I don't know. Let's do 10 just to be sure, but I don't know how many of these jewels I actually need. So they've come from thorium veins. Winter Spring's the best spot to farm thorium veins. And because this is classic materials, jewel crafting was not a thing back then. So I cannot simply try and prospect thorium for these gems. They actually have to fall from the mining nodes or drop from the mining nodes. So it makes them much more lucrative on the auction house, to the point where I'll just go farm them. They want too much money for them, in my opinion, with how the drop rates are in Winter Spring especially. And you'll see that I have my handy dandy add-on from all the nodes that I've farmed in the past, so it creates a nice little route on the outside of Winter Spring. There we go. See that nice line that's been created all the way around, and we just keep running it over and over and over again until I get the right number of them that I need. And then we'll pass them off to my blacksmith and see what we can do to make at least the plate. Now this is going to be a longer farm, and it is with the Nax Ramas stuff. At some point maybe I'll show you guys the tier 3 grind. It's a long one. It'd probably be better to chop up in a video, just so somebody can see it. But if anybody stops and wants to see it live, I suppose they can. I'll probably film a little bit of it on a stream at some point. It's very boring. You need a lot of characters to do it efficiently. I think I was running, probably 14 to 17 characters. I think the number was around 14 back then. And it still took me over a month to farm everything. I think about a month and a half was probably about the right time frame for it. It also costs about 2.5 million gold, give or take, depending on how you get drops of one item that requires you to purchase it from a vendor. The drop chance is super low, and you need a lot of them. So I would still be farming those if I relied on just drop chances for them. I think it ended up costing me about 1.8 million gold out of pocket for me to finish one set of gear. And then I had to pay somebody to make the pieces for me, because I did not have the full set back in the days of original Classic WoW from Nax Ramas. So I was not eligible to make the gear at first. Where's this guy? Says you're here. Where are you? Let's target him real quick. Where is he? Oh, he's up here. I'm going to kill the rares while we're here too. Just for the greens, because I do like transmogs, so I'll make sure that I don't need that. I'll pass it along to whoever it was. If that was leather, I'll pass along to one of my leather wares. And if he doesn't need it, then I'll just disenchant it or sell it, depending on what it goes for in the auction house. Okay, so anyone who was here for last night's raid know that I had a horrible night raiding. Oh, Francisco. Somebody followed me. That's cool. Thank you for the follow, Francisco. Appreciate that. Last night was a horrible raid. Made a lot of mistakes. And really have no excuse for it, so I'm kind of burned out from that. Otherwise, I would be going back in to finish Farak on my main, just for another shot at the Legendary, but I kind of needed a day off. In fact, I'll probably do that off stream on the weekend, just so if I have my freak out moments that it's not on stream. I think I've had enough of those for me for a week at least. So the idea of chill streams and doing this shit is easy. I was watching a video on The War Within, and the idea is what's coming out. There's a lot of people a little apprehensive about it. They just had the good expansion. To be honest with you, World of Warcraft, or Blizzard rather, as a company, needs to have back-to-back good expansions. This is what I'm farming, by the way, these arcane crystals. They cannot have another bad one. I think you may lose retail for good if they have a bad one. There's already a heavy migration over to Season of Discovery. Like I said, Dragonflight was the best expansion that they've had in a while. I'm not ready to say it was a great expansion. It was a good one. It was a good one. Didn't have the massive blunders with the power increases that they typically do. Instead, they restructured the trees, which was a massive W for them. I don't like the temporary powers that are only expansion long, and then you lose them, and then when you get into the new expansion, the first thing you do is feel weaker than what you were before. More screen. So I get a lot of relief out of these new trees. So I am a little worried about the hero talents and what they're doing with those in the next expansion. I feel like she's yelling this way. Maybe not. I thought we were going to have a visitor for a second. So I am a little worried about those. I don't know where they're going to go. I don't know if they're going to be something that's evergreen, that stays. I don't know how it would stay, or how it would get built into the original trees once that happens, once the expansion's over. A lot of question marks with it, and it seems to be the staple on the talent side, on the gameplay side, with the new expansion. So that's really where my focus is at. I like the idea of delves. I'll definitely be doing that. But really, what I'm focused on are those talents. And it's just because they've messed it up so much in the past and ruined expansions. To the point where I'll go back and do them now under a different guise. I will look more at the story and start playing that way, but it was so offensive to at least me that that's all I could focus on for quite a few of the past expansions. So I do want that good feeling again. It doesn't have to be the new feeling. I get it's a 20-year-old game. I'm not going to get the new feeling for myself. But I certainly would like to hear new players coming in, and I think that's a real struggle for them. I really wish that they would devote some kind of time to that, and I'm not sure how you do it, and that's where I've got to rely on people that hopefully are smarter than me in marketing for sure. How do you get new players? How do I get a 20-year-old player to play a 20-year-old game? I don't know how you do that. I don't have a 20-year-old mind. I don't do the things that a 20-year-old would do. I do the things that the people that grew up with Warcraft and World of Warcraft, what they do nowadays. So the more people I interact with in this game tend to be of my age. I still think of me as the old man playing the game, and I thought of that when I started playing the game. which clearly we are just the normal median age at this point. It's all it feels like. Oh, lots of people died there. Okay, so don't do that whenever you're in here. This is LFR. This is going to be sleepwalking through this unless the people that I'm with are train wrecks. Usually this late into the expansion, you only have a few in one of these groups. You can see all the red on all the brown and all the pink in the upper left hand corner. Those are all the other players that are here. Everybody that's red, pink, or brown is here for the same thing I am, which is just a chance for the legendary axe to drop. Everybody else is running it for their own reasons, which gear, or to actually see what this raid's all about. So who the hell knows what the rest of these people are doing. So I've got 24 other people besides myself that I hope know what the fuck they're doing. I'm hoping most of the melee do. The problem is that some of these fights, with them being melee intensive, make it harder. I can tell you with all of that red on the screen, Farak should be super easy because of a mechanic with ads where they'll be able to grip them all together. And that was a struggle last night. We did not have a lot of Death Knights. We did have a lot of melee, and it just made it a struggle to navigate all the ads in time. Which, I mean, yeah, was it a known? I don't know. I hope the raid realized that. But it certainly was hard. We did not have enough range. We certainly did not have enough Death Knights. And you couple that with me having a bad raid night, and I had a bad go of it. Make one mistake, it feels like it's to the nth degree because there's no way to overcome it easily. So I do think I'll have to go back to playing ranged. I love playing melee, but whenever I start raiding, it inevitably comes back to the guild doesn't have enough of something, and it's usually ranged that I can play. See all these guys standing out here. Those guys I would question whether they've been here before or not with how far out they are. But in a guild group, you typically struggle to find X, Y, or Z. There's always one class that you need. In the bigger groups, there's always one group of players that you need in others. Right now, in ours, it seems like what they need after raiding with them for a little bit now is both ranged and healers. I have tried healing once in my life back when I was really into raiding, and I couldn't tell you if it was the worst class in the expansion, which it was at that point for healers, or me, which I'm sure it was as well, but that wicked combination just left a very sour taste in my mouth, and still to this day I believe I'm a terrible healer, and I don't know. I could be the best healer in the world now. I don't know. I'm scared to death to do healing again. Because of how badly that went. It actually took me out of raiding, and I was one back then who would raid four raids a week of the same raid. And I just went back to DPSing because it's you can be quiet. I can be a number. All I am is a number. But, well, just a number when you DPS. It's how much DPS are you doing, and that number is reflective of how long you're alive anyhow. So the longer you're alive, the better that's going to look. That's it. That's it. It's very easy. And the more you're a healer, the more you stick out. The more you're a tank, the more you definitely stick out. So you better really know your shit. Otherwise you're going to get flamed hard. You better have big shoulders for that stuff. I would love to tank, though. I'll be honest with that. I think tank. Yes.
Streaming?
Yeah.
You want me to come on and talk with you?
No.
Movie night's over now.
It's over. How was it?
Horrible.
Horrible.
We watched a horror movie.
Yeah.
And the only horror happened in the last 3 minutes of the fucking movie.
Okay. I mean, it made
I'm like, no, I would not classify this movie as horror. Maybe suspense.
Yeah.
or something like that, because it was like literally a build up to them eating this guy at the end of the movie.
Oh, they
That
ate
was
him.
it.
Well, that's cool.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it was a good movie, but it wasn't a fucking horror movie.
No, but I mean, you got to see somebody get eaten.
I mean, I got to see his skin get ripped off of his fucking flesh, and that's why I was screaming, because it was fucking gross. So.
Mm-hmm. What was the name of it?
House of Darkness.
House of Darkness.
You cannot pay me to watch that movie again. If you want to watch it by your damn self.
Okay.
I will not do it again.
Yeah. Do you want to play WoW? You don't have to.
I mean, I could.
It's up to you. I mean, you can do whatever you want. If you don't want to, the reason why I ask is so I know what I'm doing.
Wait, do you want to like play together? Is that what you're saying? Or because I only have like the rest of this month to play WoW.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care. If you say no, I'm not going to be upset. I don't care.
What are you doing right now?
I'm just doing an LFR raid while I'm farming materials. Yes, I'm not really trying to do too much tonight on stream after the last 2 nights.
Yeah. Probably not.
Okay, that's fine. Like I said, you don't have to. It was an offer.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you want to jump on, you can. It's up to you, though. If you want to do something else, do something else. Just let me know.
I'll check my Discord and see who all's in chat and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get out of my Discord chat though, because I'll tell you about that later.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. I'll be here. Alright, sorry about that, guys. She just got done with her movie night that she does. Oh, I gotta get out, and I've got these fucking things on me. Damn it. These guys are gonna burn us alive. Guaranteed. Ooh! Please don't die. I've got a nice little setup here with this paladin. I'm not gonna die. But it sure does make you wonder about the people I'm playing with. No gear. Okay. No gear. Maybe that means I'll get the axe. Who the hell knows? We'll try it. How'd I do? 71.9. See, I fight so hard with my warrior. And I play a couple different other characters in raids. And they just seem like they would whip my warrior's ass if I actually geared him up. And he's one of them. The DPS comes so much easier. I mean, I don't think I was hitting near that on a single target fight with a lot of movement with my warrior at this point. So anyhow, I completely lost my train of thought with her coming and telling me about that movie. I don't know. Got a terrible memory. It happens. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, so we're putting out more food. So we're going to fight Farak for anybody who hasn't seen it. Or didn't see it yesterday on Heroic. There's a lot less pieces to this puzzle. There are, in Phase 1, big balls that come out, or big circles around you. Honestly, as long as you don't hit the 4 things in the back that are highlighted green, these guys, then it doesn't matter where they drop as long as you're not dropping them on people. He's gonna, every once in a while, do this big AoE, and you have to move to the other side of the room. And then he'll go up in the air once Phase 1's over, land as a dragon. At that phase, you just try and stop the balls from touching him. There is no fail mechanic with any of this stuff, so if you don't stop the balls from getting to him, you have to do it basically with all the balls to kill everybody. Then he'll fly back up in the air. When he does that, he'll come back down in the form that he's in now, which is his visage form. And we start Phase 2. Phase 2, see, these are the big circles, the little stuff on the ground you just always stay away from. It's the same thing as every other fight. You don't want to be on the ground. See, that guy just landed in everybody, and it barely touched us. There's really no fail mechanics on here. In Heroic, you fuck up any of the drop spots for those big circles, and it's going to be a wipe pretty quick. So anyhow, phase 2, he's going to come down, fight us for 30 seconds or so, and then he's going to summon 2 giant adds, and then he's going to fly away. When he flies away, he is going to be distracted by the noise in the background. When he flies away, he's going to lay a big patch in the middle of this room or of this floor. It'll be all grayed out. You just got to stay out of that so you don't get killed. And when he flies by, he's going to basically summon a bunch of these little adds. And we've got to AoE him down. Hopefully this is where the big red guys come into play on my screen. All the DKs, they'll be able to group them together so we can get them quicker. Again, there is no fail mechanic on it, so you just need to kill them whenever. Here he goes as the dragons. Phase 2 here. Don't stand directly underneath of him. That's about the only fail mechanic. That swirly thing will kill you. And you'll see all these little balls coming in at this point. And you just eat up the balls, stop them from getting to them. That's it. Very easy mechanic. He puts out very little AoE damage. Again, this is LFR. This is meant for people to see basic mechanics. They are not death mechanics, typically. So that you can get a taste of what raiding is at a very, very survivable level. Very, very rarely. I mean, this is the last boss in this expansion, and you see how few fail mechanics there are. So at this point, he's going to get ready to summon his 2 guys. I'll do this real quick, and then you should see him start summoning. You'll see 2 large circles come up. The 2 large circles are coming up around the tanks, typically, as long as they're alive. You just space them out so they don't overlap. So there's the 2 big guys, so we AoE them pretty hard right now. Try and take off as much life as we can until the rest of the adds come out. See the big gray area in the middle of the screen? That is where he's flying. You gotta stay the hell out of that. Here he comes flying. And there are the adds. So now we move to these little guys. We try and DPS down everything. This is where the red guys are going to pay dividends. See how they're all getting pulled in? That's compliments of our Death Knight friends. They are your best friend on that. And you want to keep them away from these guys. If they end up hitting those guys, then they will turn them into enemies. They need to be fully healed. See how this guy's healing? By the time that they get to this big blue thing, which is a Mirdrasil, which is a giant tree. Right now it's in its seed form. So we're healing the tree effectively by having those spirits walk from one end of the screen to the other and stay alive, as well as be healed by our healers. So the healers are actively healing these guys up to full green bars or full health. So at this point he's going to do the same thing. We do it twice. Here's the 2 circles on the tanks. Just make sure they are close, but you don't want to overlap one tank with the other's circle. And then you do the same exact rotation. DPS these guys hard while you have a few seconds. As soon as Farak drops his little blaze across here, we will move over to the small adds. There they go. We're going to move to the small adds. On any other version, we're going to look for these guys and we're going to move over here. And we're going to beat the hell out of these guys and keep them from casting the Searing Screech, because that's going to turn them. See how this pile's going? It's because we did not interrupt those guys. Now, this is not a fail mechanic, again, on any other, well, maybe not normal, but certainly on heroic, that is a fail mechanic as well as mythic. I'm used to running heroic at this point, so that would have been a failure. Especially if you lose an entire group. On this, we'll be just fine. We're just going to push right through. Usually he will transition around 30% is kind of your goal that you're looking for into the 3rd phase. In this, DPS is so good, so high right now. He's going to transition super low. Here comes the phase 3. It's going to look just like the 2nd phase, or the intermission of the 2nd phase. Is going to come down the dragon. We're going to go up in the air. Only now there is another mechanic. In normal, heroic, mythic, there are seeds that fall on the ground. You have to pick them up and keep yourself from getting hit. Basically keep the seeds from getting hit is really what you're after. If that happens, the seed's destroyed. You have to keep them alive. You will see these blue things here are the seeds, and they periodically are going to spawn green patches on the ground. That mechanic is something that's manually done on every other level of this run. See how these circles are forming? There's your green patch. This mechanic is an auto death if you are not in that green patch on any other level. Here you can survive it. I will say this, the better your gear is, the more defensive cooldowns that you have that are strong, you can survive that once. It is not meant to be anything but a fail mechanic, though. You cannot rely on not having those seeds. Okay, so let's see. Obviously, I did not get the legendary again. What is this guy? I don't have him. I'll take him. I sure do wish that I would get some of this stuff, but I don't think I'm going to. Healing. I'm going to take some healer shit, too. I don't care. Oh, you know what? I'm spec'd ret. I think they changed how that works. If anybody else specs with a main spec need, I'm SOL. Well, that blows. Okay. So anyhow, that's the fight on it. Super easy on LFR. That's a snooze fest. You can see how much I'm struggling even just getting through the mechanics on LFR. On normal, there's one mechanic for each of those phases that's added. And on heroic, there is another mechanic that's added. On mythic, there is yet another mechanic that's added. As well as the health pools for everybody getting substantially higher. And the auto-fail mechanics becoming more prevalent. You know, something that you can get away with in LFR. You definitely won't be able to get away with in heroic. You might be able to get away with once in normal. And in mythic, there is no question. It will be an auto kill every time. So it just means that as you're raiding, more and more they expect you to run the fight with more and more precision. And they still give you leeway. It's not like you're going to run everything perfect. It does happen. But how I ran last night, for instance, on heroic was not up to quality. That would have, and probably should have, put me on the bench. They would have kicked my ass out if I wasn't part of that guild. That was just a bad night. So we'll fix it. That's what the chill night's for tonight. And I even offered for Randy to come in and shoot the shit if she was bored. She's taking her night off stream, so she's under no obligation to come on stream. She certainly doesn't have to be on performing. I told her she could just join in a Discord call if she got bored. I'm just doing this for the hours. I wouldn't really get used to Thursdays being my day. I do like to spend time with her. Just right now I'm trying to figure everything out on my end. I think this weekend I'm going to play with some video stuff. I'll probably stream it while I do it. Just to see about starting to put together videos for YouTube. I think that's probably going to be more my niche in the long run after doing this for a few weeks. I have more of a feeling that things shot on video, editing interests me. It always has. So learning that, then I could play with Randy's videos a little bit too, chop them up, get them on YouTube for kind of hit the 2-for-1 special there to help her, because I know that's going to be a struggle for her to get fired up, so I might as well keep contributing. She's the better on-air talent, if you will. She is a kook, and it's kind of funny. It's funny to watch, which is perfect. Is anybody watching State of the Union tonight? I know it's politics, but I am very interested in the politics stuff. I try not to keep it out of the live stream things, but I'm curious what's going to happen tonight and what he's going to talk about. A lot going on in the world right now. And then I'm going to roll into my Friday happy. I'm going to get plenty of sleep tonight. I've been a little sleep deprived on top of everything else, which is never good for me. Mornings start a little bit of a train wreck when I don't get enough sleep the night before. And I've got it down to a healthy balance. If I get to bed at a certain time, I usually am fine for 5 days a week. So yeah, I'll just take a little nap. But really what I need to do is hit the gym. Or at least start lifting here at home again. Body's just too out of shape, so I don't have any energy, which kind of stinks. There's a lot of shit I'd like to do, and just don't have the energy and keep making excuses for why I don't do it, which is not a good way to go. You know, even this takes some energy. You got to be upbeat. Can't be asleep at the wheel here. And you hear how I sound normally anyhow. It's not like I'm the most energetic person, so certainly when I'm tired, that would be even worse. Alright. Oh, 2 greens. Alright. Anything that... Oh, hey, look at that. There we go. See, this is why we kill our rares. There is the transmog they don't have. See how you have the blue letters haven't collected this appearance. The way that you can get the transmog is you can right-click on the item when you don't have any vendors open, and it will equip the item. I ask you to equip it. Will bind it to you. Yes. And then down here in pink, you'll see Lofty Arm Guards has been added to my appearance. So I scrolled over it on accident. This guy here would usually say new on it, but that's the appearance I just unlocked for my arm guards. Now this is the important part. Right click again on the same spot that way you put back on the original piece of armor. The worst thing you can do is the next step, which is sell the piece that you just equipped and not the piece that you actually want to have on. It'll be a massive difference between the two, and you'll be super pissed if you do that, because then you've got to go through the item restoration process, which has been simplified by Blizzard, but still you can't do it too often. I think it's like once every 3 days or something. So just be careful with that part. I've deleted an item before on accident and didn't realize it for a few days, and that was a bad time when you're wondering what the hell is going on. And here you're wearing something from when you started the game and you're 10 expansions in. Alright, so all we're doing on this map is flying around the route. Now, how am I flying around the route? Is I'm looking at this mini map up here in my upper right hand corner. As I get close to any of these nodes, they will turn into red circles. If the red circles are filled with a yellow item, which is supposed to be like a nugget, a gold nugget, then I will stop, because there is actually a vein here that I can actually mine. You'll see straight ahead's another one. I'm going to look up. There it is. And I'll stop here on my mini map. I'm over top of it. If I zoom in, you can see that there is actually gold. I'll move away from it. There's the gold. There's the red circle. And those are all estimates, but they get you close. And then you just fly around. And add-ons that I have will track every place in the past where I have mined something. That's where these are all coming from. And all I'm doing is retracing my steps, because they do tend to spawn in the same spots. There will be, like here, one of, what do we have? 5 spots have potential to spawn. You will never see all 5 spawned. You'll see a onesie, twosie at most, and they'll be moved. Next time something spawns in this little cluster, it'll be someplace else, but it'll be one of those other nodes. And you just keep flying around. You'll find other people. If you don't see clusters for a while, and you know for a fact that you found a bunch of clusters spawning in that area, and then you're flying and flying and flying and just can't find something, stop and think about it for a second. There's probably somebody ahead of you that is farming these nodes. Watch what happens after I'm done farming it. It disappears. So there's somebody flying a similar flight path to you, maybe even the exact same one. I will run into even bots on this flight path that's farming just enough ahead of you that it's making these despawn, so you're just flying around for nothing. You're probably flying around at a very similar time as the other people. So you can do one of two things. One, reverse your route. Or two, just fly to another section. So if I'm running this route and I run all of this and nothing spawns, I'm not going to continue on this route because I'm probably going to just keep running into no spawns. So what I do is I'm going to cut this off at some point and pick another point further down and see if I can catch up to whoever's actually farming. You're certainly allowed to farm with the other person. It's not like these nodes disappear right away whenever there are multiple people there, but they are on a timer. You've got about 30 seconds before they disappear, and it takes multiple minutes for them to come back. So just a little tip for the farmers out there, especially when you go to websites and they tell you this is the route and you just are having a hell of a time finding any mining points. Same thing for herbalism. If you're having a very hard time finding herbs, that's exactly what's happening to you, and it will happen eventually if you're a farmer. So as I said earlier, I need to figure out a ranged DPS and get them leveled up. I don't know if I'll play them in Season 4 of this year, or of this expansion, or if I'll wait till next expansion and just get them kind of prepped and ready to go. But I need to figure out something for them to help out. I'm completely fine playing range. It doesn't bother me. The rotations are the only thing else, and I don't like leveling as ranged, but if you're in a guild, you can level through dungeons or however you want. Reason being is just because they're squishy. They're squishy, and I like my big swords, plate wearing, just swinging, cleaving through guys, but able to take some hits. I'm not one to run what people think of the traditional like frost mage, where you're freezing people, you're blinking away, you're always at arm's length, they can't quite touch you. That's not my style of play at all. But certainly in a raid environment, I can DPS just as well as anybody else, and stay alive is the name of the game half the time in a raid environment. It's a little different. I'm not trying to have the boss hit me in the fucking face in a raid. All I'm going to do is eat shit. Well, nothing there. We're getting some leather pieces. Cloth, mail. And we got that one plate piece, so. Alright, that's junk. I do try and keep my bags a little sorted. I don't like cleaning them up because I've got too much shit in them. They'll get lost in the mix. So I'll sort them manually till I make sure all my farming's done, everything's out of them, and then I'll clean them up with what's ever left. And it's just so I don't lose things. Bag space is still very important. Not quite as important as in Classic, but it's important. Especially if you're around here farming. Hey, Savile. I appreciate it, bud. Thank you. Yeah, so we're just going to fly this route for a little bit. Again, I'm just farming for these guys. I'm going to get 10 just to be safe, and then we're going to log on to my blacksmith and see if we can't make this set of armor. I'm going to have to repeat this same exact shit that I'm doing. I believe 80 is the number that I need of those crystals. I've got to do it 3 more times because I've got to do it for plate, leather, mail, and cloth. Now, this grind isn't near as bad as the Naxxramas grind. That is certainly worse, but still not fun just to do this all the time unless you're looking to just chill the fuck out for a while. Like I said, this is good for the mental health every once in a while to just get on an herbalist, a miner, a skinner, and just go farm materials. Go fish in the game. Something. If you really want to play the game, but you're just kind of fried, go do something like that for a while. Keep you invested in the game, make you feel like you're not falling behind, so it's not the double whammy. Oh, I had a bad day, now I'm behind. Like it's a little bad spiral to get into. And if you can't get out of it, just take a fucking break from the game. It's a game. But this always relaxes me after a bad night. Just come in and do this and do some things that have nothing to do with current content. Go do some old shit. You'll see me run some transmog runs. I'll run it on my hunter here in a little bit. Just something I gotta run once a week on different characters. Just knocking out a transmog set for each of the classes. I'll probably go chase some old raids for pieces that I need as well. Can't remember if I've ran them this week on characters or not. Week's been a blur, which is a good thing when you're talking about getting to the weekend. I sure do hope the weekend takes a while to go by. Starting to get hot. Warm in here tonight. Right. Number are we at anyhow? 4. There's 5. Alright, halfway home. 5 more of these guys. I know I'm in the 70s somewhere with what I sent my blacksmith. I don't even know what time the State of the Union comes on. It's 7:40. I can't imagine it. With it being Biden, he's not going to be up late. So what, 8, 9 o'clock? Is that when it would come? Let's see here. Oh. Okay. Well, I don't know what time, and I'm not looking up because I don't care that much. Just curious. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's go grab this one. So Winter Spring is a classic zone. Obviously, that's why it's dropping the classic nodes. Like I said, the jewel crafting thing, it was non-existent back then. So the only way that I can get these crystals and things is from actually mining like this. Which kind of stinks. It does take a while. Certainly it'll speed up more as I progress through the expansions with crafted items that I need to make. I'm just going to focus on blowing through some of that stuff, getting it out of the way. I do like coming back to the classic zones though. But I'm completionist at heart is all it is. And I do leave some of this stuff not done in a current expansion intentionally so I can come back to it later. And I didn't even play during classic, so I'm trying to do all this bullshit. This shit takes forever. There was a fuck ton to do in Classic. So what is everybody doing today? What the hell happened today? Work was fine today. I didn't really do anything at work. I did fuck up today at work. Oh my god. Made a mistake today at work and I had to hear about it at about 5 o'clock and I get off at 2. So that was bad. Not saying it was from me doing the heroic, but it certainly makes me evaluate whether I should be doing heroic rating at the hours that I go. It's not that late, but it is super late when I've got to be up at 4 a.m. So I do have to question that. I don't know that I'll be able to find a raiding guild that runs at normal hours unless it's a weekend raiding guild, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And I just know that conflicts with the guild that I'm currently in due to some of the core members' raid schedules. Work schedules. Same reasons I'm fighting things on the weekday. Alright, so we're about 1.5 rounds through this stuff. And I don't believe that I am farming with anybody else tonight. I was farming with somebody the last time I was on. So the method that I talked about earlier with figuring out where they're at on the map and either catch up with them or run the opposite route. The opposite route, you're going to cross paths at least twice. So you're going to have dead zones at least 2 times that you just run a loop. If you get with them, as long as you can keep up, you will hit every node and never have a dead zone. So as long as you can keep up with them, that's the key. If you can keep up with them, then certainly go find them and run with them. They're doing the same thing. It doesn't take away, you don't get less ore because you're running to the same nodes as they are. There's that guy. There are 2 different ways to fly in World of Warcraft now. There's dynamic flight, which is the dragon riding, which is... I'm going to use the word involved because I can't think of anything that's better, but it's a little bit more involved. It's not hard, but when you're farming, you want something that's easy. This way is the old style of flying. It's basically swimming in air is a nice way to think of it if you swam in WoW. So if I stop moving, he hovers. If I press forward, he goes forward. If I let off, he stops. That is not the case with dragon riding. So when you're trying to just run a path, you're stopping, starting very quickly. Definitely consider the old style way of flying. It'll probably be much quicker for you. There are actually... Oh, there we go. There's a hunter. See how quickly he's here and see how he's hunting? Now he's going backward. He's about ready to run into a dead spot, and so am I. So let's see. Oh, no, he's flying with me. Okay, good. He's flying the same way as I am. This may actually be the guy who I ran into a couple days ago. So now I just have to keep up with him. I have yet to see if he is a bot or not. There are lots of bots in this game. They will fly around, grab the ore, and go sell it on the auction house and make some money with it that way, and then in turn sell that to somebody else for real life money where they can buy gold from them. Not as bad as it was with the WoW token, but it's certainly still a thing. There's not a whole lot of reason to come up here and farm unless you're farming materials. With as often as I see druids up here because of how fast they can get in and out of their flight form, more times than not, that's a bot. It can also be that you've got somebody that's been playing the game a while. I can tell you I'm on the wrong mount for doing what I'm doing and trying to keep up with a druid. There are mounts, mechanical mounts that you can ride that you don't have to dismount whenever you actually try to collect ore from a node. That is the proper mount to get on whenever you're actually running this. I don't care about it right now, to be honest, and I don't know that I even have one of those mounts. I think I just utilize my druid. So I'm going to pop up here and come back with a hard turn. Oh, there's two. Okay, that makes me really think that it's a bot. The bots will miss these nodes. They are on a hard path, so anything that's off of the normal route, they will just let go. They don't care about. So we're going to turn around and gap over to here. And we'll see. We'll see if we can't catch up to him again. We're probably getting close to where some of this stuff's going to start disappearing. Even to the point where I'll be mining it and it'll disappear before I can start collecting the ore. Otherwise, you're going to start to see these red circles without spots on them. When that happens, I'll stop what I'm doing, move ahead, and try and get closer to him. The chances of me moving faster than a druid in ore collection is almost 0. So I doubt I'm going to be able to catch up from behind. So I just need to stay close enough that these things don't disappear. Or just give me 3 more of those arcane crystals and then I'm going to be done anyhow. That would be cool. Oh, there's one over here. So anyhow, this is mining in Winter Spring. There's not a whole lot else to talk about it with the mining in Winter Spring. You're seeing the one variable that gets put in place with the miners. Busier servers, I imagine, are going to have a hell of a time trying to get your mining done. I don't know how material movement is, because I don't have a lot of guys on cross servers, which is a weak point of mine. So disregard me if I'm speaking out of turn with this, but if you can get on a lower pop server, you're going to have a way better time farming. But I don't know with the transfer if that does you any good or if that's just a moot point and you got to do it on a server where you're trying to either manufacture, make, sell, whatever you're doing with the ore, jewels, crystals, whatever. Now I skipped a spot here that's underground that always has a node, and it's a pretty quick spot. I'm doing that intentionally so I can try to catch up to this druid just a pinch, because I guarantee if he's on a bot run, he's not doing that because it would slow him down too much. It's probably not worth the investment. Sure do wish I could watch shit on YouTube and react to it, but I can't, and I'd like to stream on it today, try and just put hours of content out there that I can chop up and do whatever with. So I'm gonna let it go tonight, but if it was a chill stream, I would just sit here and react to shit and mine while I do it and just stream on Kick. But I do want to stream on YouTube right now. Conscious choice, YouTube. Conscious choice. Alright, so far so good. I haven't noticed any lack of nodes that make me think that I am not running with people, or not running with a druid that's ahead of me. So when it's not a bot, you can usually catch them, because they'll misclick a button, they'll get sidetracked by something, so you'll end up running into him again. That guy was pretty fucking quick. Pretty quick and I still haven't seen him again. Here, Classic and Season of Discovery, SOD's having some problems right now with the botting again. That's sad. I wish they could take the botting out of the game, but it's just kind of a known evil that Blizzard either refuses to or can't fix. I'm not saying either or because I don't know near enough about the programming on it. I don't know what the bots are doing. I know there's a fly hack, but I don't know all the other hacks. Like, I couldn't even tell you how you bot this in a circle. But I knew if I couldn't get banned for it, I'd be fucking doing it too. I'd only do this on days like today. And I'd just set them up to go fucking farming all night. Make me some money, get me some materials for all my other guys. Man, I have not seen one of these arcane crystals for a minute now. Oh, I don't want the dragon mount. See, little mistakes like that. I'm doing it as fast as I can. You're still going to misclick. But when I don't run into him after this long, it really makes me think that he's just got a little extra help on his route. Where are we at? Mid-March? Oh, I don't think Randy's in the chat. Hopefully she's not listening. I hear her talking, but Randy's birthday present should be here in a day or two. So I'm excited for that. And with that came something for her. What's the next holiday? St. Patty's Day. Something for St. Patty's Day too. Little something, nothing big, but she'll get a kick out of it. So when all that hits, I'll show it on my stream now before I start showing it to her and giving it to her. Might as well farm my own content, right? Oh, there was a little drama too. The Actman and Az stuff still seems to be popping off. I saw both of them released videos today. Just in a little bit of a lover's quarrel over Sweet Baby Inc. Because Actman was, I don't know, name calling, grandstanding, I guess is the easiest way to put it, with ignorant information on something that Az did about 6 months ago now. And it was its whole thing, and it died down. But then the Actman, it seems like, has finally come to the realization that there's some dirty shit going on in games. You know, trying to get their DEI points. Make a shitty game, but at least that its DEI points, so it got funding so it could lose them millions of dollars. That's one thing nobody will ever be able to take away, was watching. You know, when I started playing video games, it was on my uncle's Atari. And watching the Nintendo blossom and bloom, and then Sega Genesis, and then along comes the PlayStation and all that, and just watching games that the programmers were very ignorant of all of the addictive qualities that games had, the ways that they could abuse transactions to make money. They just did it because they thought it was cool. And they tried to sucker people in with these crazy ideas like good storylines, good gameplay. In some cases, the good gameplay was hard gameplay. You know, back when you had 3 lives to get through the entire game. There weren't save points. You just had to restart the whole damn thing if you failed with those 3 lives. And sure, they put in, you know, the cheat codes and things. Everybody knows the Contra cheat code with the up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. That game came out in the 80s. It's 2024. Still can recite off the top of my head. I couldn't tell you last time I played Contra. Everybody knows that code. But it was a very pure time in gaming, and now it's a very how can I make money time in gaming. And you mix that in with some of the DEI stuff, and it's a real bad combo right now. It's how can I make the most amount of money while still getting in my political points, while still getting in my diversity, equity, inclusion in general. And somehow with those two things mixing together, the idea of a good storyline and good gameplay kind of gets pushed to the side. And it's just brutal. Oh, what did I see today too? Who's doing this? What, Fallout series is coming out? I don't know. I want to say Netflix is doing it. That looked good. That looked good. I liked Fallout. I'd at least watch it. There's some of the stuff looks not so good or not enough to hook my attention in a way that I would take time to watch it. It's got to be a pretty good show. House of the Dragon will definitely make me set aside time. I will forego responsibilities to a certain extent to make time to watch it. This looked good enough to watch. I don't know that I'll set aside too much time. If it came out in June and the sun's shining and it's 80 degrees, I don't know that I want to be stuck inside binge watching it. But for an hour before I go to bed, sure. Speaking of things coming out in the summertime, I did hear House of the Dragon's coming out in June. I thought it was coming out more August, September-ish. But it seems like June is the new month for that. So it'll give me something to do over the summer while there's no football on to watch. But same thing goes. Luckily it does typically air at night, so it doesn't interfere too much with anything else I'm doing at that point. I think it was Sunday nights at like 8 or 9. But I'm a big Game of Thrones fans up until I don't know, 6 or 7, the season of it, and it started to fall apart for me. 8 was horrific. I went into House of Dragon really, really skeptical about how it was going to be. I hoped for Game of Thrones, but I was not optimistic of it, and especially with the way Season 8 ended. Very good show. Very good show. If you were burned by the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones, you would be pleasantly surprised with Season 1 of House of the Dragon. So I'm looking forward to Season 2. Hopefully it's good. I know very little about it. I'm intentionally not reading the book, so I can kind of wash away any preperceived notions or, ooh, I know this is happening. I want to be surprised with all of it. After it's over, I'll read the book and see what I thought of it. So what number am I at now? 9. Big 9. I need to hit 10. One more. 9. Get me to 10. Like I said, for each of these sets, I need 80 of these things. So this is what I do off stream some nights. I'll just take a day and a couple hours and do it. In this case, it's been an hour of doing it so far. and we're only at 9. But I'll get there. You know, this is not anything that's going to happen fast. None of this was fast. Whenever we're sitting here talking about the next Ramus stuff that came out. Making the gear won't take anything. You'll be surprised how easy that is. I think the hardest thing's I gotta figure out what anvil I have to go to actually craft the shit. So there's some cool mini themes behind doing this stuff. There are giant anvils in different places across Azeroth. So depending on which one it requires you to go to, you can only craft the gear at those anvils. Most prevalent one's the Dark Forge. Everybody knows it because it's been there since the first dungeon of the game. And for some reason, I don't think that I have to go to the Dark Anvil for it. I think it's a different one, so I'm curious to see where I have to go. It'll be something in Classic, I'm sure. I just don't know where the other ones are. You know, you see all this scenery and shit, and the last thing I remember are anvils. The Dark Forge just sticks out like a sore thumb. Thanks to the room that it's in, you can't miss that one. Ooh, okay, this guy may have got ahead of me. There's one. I was gonna say I started to go a pretty long way without seeing a node. Alright. Oh, I don't know if I talked about this on the stream. Did you guys see that the, whatever that big boss was, like a blood god or something, in Season of Discovery, they actually downed him? And they dropped that level 125 sword. Which is funny. It's just a little Easter egg. If everybody doesn't know, the highest level that we've ever hit in retail was 120, and then they squished us. Which is why the current character cap, I believe, is 70. I think that's where we're at now. Yeah, 70. So put it at 125, it's like unobtainable. Is the nicest way for them to tell you that you will never be able to equip it. But it has some hefty stats on it that would make it comparable for somebody who is at 125. But it's more just keeping your bags as a souvenir that you were one of the very, very few who would have put in the time and dedication to do that. That's just something you do to say you did. I think, oh, there he is. Okay, still running his route. I think they did it because the Swift Bengal Tiger was rumored to potentially drop from him, which that would have been cool. That little theory has been in game now forever. It either does not exist or it is just so complicated that nobody's ever found out how. And I'm sure it just doesn't exist, but it's nice to think that maybe somewhere, somehow, there's this hidden secret. You know, every once in a blue moon, these guys will find something from a past patch. In fact, it happened with Shadowlands not that long ago. There was a toy that was just found when Shadowlands came out 3-4 years ago now, and the area that it was in has been a solid 2-3 years, and it stayed hidden. So that's the stuff that I find cool. That's the stuff that keeps me engaged in the game. The raiding stuff's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's not the reason I play. Mythic Plus is certainly not the reason I play. The cool Easter egg thing is a huge draw. I don't know, the old lady's awful quiet. I wonder what she's up to. I'm just flying with this druid now. God damn it, he's gonna be faster than me. That's what I mean, he can just pull away. Just because he can shapeshift. Every time I got to jump on a dragon and he can press a button and poof. He beats me. So I've got to be super fucking quick getting on and off. And we both running the same shit. He's probably going, I'm a bot. I'm going, he's a bot. Watch, we're probably both just mining shit to mine shit and just happen to be on this path. Damn it. I just need one fucking more of these things. Can you tell I'm getting a little excited to make this gear? Oh, yeah, maybe he's not a bot because he almost overflew that. Fuck. I'll pretty much know he's a bot between the rares, and every once in a while one of these nodes will be at a bad angle and it'll hang him up for a long period of time. He just will not be able to land around it. If he happens with one of those two things, then we'll know it's a bot. Other than that, oh, we'll see how he does with this one. That's at a pretty steep angle. See how he's hiccuping? See how he's hiccuping? That's a bot. There's your answer. So that came pretty quick after we just mentioned that, but for sure a bot. Which doesn't surprise me. If you're going to go farming on a bot, you do it on a druid for that exact reason, like what you just saw. He can flip into that form so fucking quick and get moving. That's the class you should pick if you're going to go farming. So we'll see how long he stays stuck. Eventually he's going to move on. That bot's got to have an override somewhere. It's not going to let him just sit there doing that for hours. It'd be funny if it did, but I'm sure it's just going to trigger itself that if he hasn't collected anything in so much time to move. God damn it. It's almost like it knows I need these. You'll go through spells with this too. Every once in a blue moon, you'll hit them and it's just boom, boom, boom. You get the exact gem that you need in groups. Right now I'm just getting other gems other than what I need. That's totally random. Wish there was some way that you could target them, but it would take away some of the fun. Still at 9. It is going to be fun if I get, I don't want to call it a following, but a community, I guess is the right term for this. And they start wanting me to play certain things, certain classes, going alliance, you know, things of that sort. Be interesting to try things that I haven't thought of that maybe just other people want to see. You know, what expansions to play, etc. I find myself playing Classic more than anything. No, I don't play Classic on the server. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna get out of here because I got my 10. Oh, leg itches. Itch. Now I'm gonna go mail this shit to my blacksmith. And then I'm gonna take a break. We'll come back, we'll log on to him, and then I'll start making this damn gear. Alright, so my blacksmith is Capone. I'll move that over to him. Where's the other shit that I've been collecting? Okay, so I'm gonna move this over to him, this over to him, that over to him. Anything else? Yep, thorium there. remove that and let that be. Log out. And then we're going to log into him. Okay, I am going to take a couple-minute break. I'll be back, we'll say 8:15-ish. That's on the to-do list this week, too. We're going to put together a be right back sign and shit, too. Make this shit a little bit more professional. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll leave you looking at his smiling face here. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, thanks for hanging in there, guys. Let's get back to it here. Oh, I have a guild in this one. Okay. Let's see what we're doing here. I'm away. Alright, so let's check my inventory. I have a lot of shit on this guy. You can see all the pieces of gear that I have. That tells me I just cleared some shit out from my inbox on this character before. We got till about 8:30, and then I think I'm gonna go over to Kick off of my YouTube stream so that I can listen to the State of the Union and keep playing this. Where the hell is my stuff? Okay, so 83 is what I have. So I've got over the 80. Let's see. Where's my blacksmithing? Let's go blacksmithing. We're going to filter it by classic. And then we are going to come down. And we're going to look at Icebane. Icebane, Icebane. Okay, so I do see them all separated. So let's start here. So, see how it says I haven't collected this. This is what I need. Thorium bars. These runes, which I had to collect from Naxxramas, which I've been collecting, or had collected whenever I was running to get the tier 3 stuff. So I was multitasking. Takes a little longer on the runs, but if you do it at the same time, you have to run less of them overall. Oh, shit. I need these guys. Where the fuck do I get Essence of Water? I'm going to have to go farm these. There's always something. So much time. Okay, so let's look at all this shit to see what I have to farm. Just Essences of Water, and I have to get Arcanite bars. Luckily I have the guy to make that, but the Essences of Water I cannot make. Icebane, Icebane, Icebane. Okay. Oops. Boots. So Icebane and Arcanite. And then we're also going to look into making these. I don't have a bunch of these. These are also weapons that I got while farming the tier 3 stuff. These are some of the stuff that was removed from the game. Ancient plans. These are the ones. So these guys here. These Wharton scraps cost a fuck ton. But we're going to go after them. Okay, Blood of the Innocents. That's cool. Okay, so I can get that easy. Okay, so we're going to start making this stuff. Just to go through it, just so I have them. And you can sell them for fuck ton. You see what the auction house has for them. So this is how I'm going to make an ass load of money. All these things, 70,000, 54,000, this is 165,000. And I can make these fairly easy because these Essences of Undeath, I believe you can farm from Nax. If you can farm them from Nax, I will run Nax and start going for yet another tier 3 set. I'm surprised I only have that many. That would make me think that they don't drop from Nax. They may actually drop from Stratholme. But we're going to see. We're going to see. So we're going to go through this. So for now, we're going to focus on this Icebane set. So we're going to look at Arcanite bars and what it takes to make those. And we're going to go look at Essences of Water on the auction house. 70 gold a piece. That's an awful lot. I feel like I could farm that. Let's see where we can farm Essence of Water real quick. And let's see if there's a good spot. Wow. Essence of Water farming. Where, oh where do we go to farm? There's a farming guide. WoW Professions is a nice place to go to. It'll give you a very good area or areas where you can farm at. Looks like Swamp of Sorrow is where we're headed. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take too long. So we're going to go to Swamp of Sorrow. Actually, I can pull this up here for a second so you can see it. do this. And we'll move it up above here. Okay, so just so you can see the page that I'm looking at. We'll hit OK on that. Swamposaurus, this is where I'm going in again. This is wowprofessions.com, which has a bunch of info if you ever need to look for farming locations of things, whether it's minerals, whether in this case it's actual mobs that'll be dropping the essence of water. But anyhow, that's the little loop that we'll be running. The little area is this pond here in Swamposaurus. So we're going to drop it back down here. Get that off our screen. Okay, so let's go do that. I'm going to take him and farm it. I don't think there's any real reason to farm with anybody else. Is there anybody else who would be good at farming that? Let's farm with him and see how it goes. We'll see. So, let's go to our map, and let's go to Azeroth, and we're going to type in Swamp of Sorrows, if you don't know where you're going. That's not going to take me here, so let's do this with a drop-down. Do Kalimdor. And we'll come in here, and let's look for Swamp. Nope. So we're going to go Eastern Kingdoms. Is where that's going to be, and then we're going to click on one of these, and then we're going to drop down, and we're going to look for Swamp of Sorrows. There we go. So we're Red Ridge Mountains, Blasted Lands, Swamp of Sorrows. So it's going to be down in this little area here. It's going to be the Swamp of Sorrows, this area. And we're going to be farming right here. So again, we're going to zoom out, and how do I get there quickly? Now is what I'm looking for. So, we are going to end up coming in to Booty Bay. That's a real quick one from where I'm at right now. And again, I'm going to treat this like nobody's ever played the game. You can tell me if you have. Just treating things like this is where my thought process goes. The internal monologue. How to get there. How do I get there quick? So, let's go out here, and there is a Zeppelin that will take us to Booty Bay. And by Zeppelin, I mean one of these big-ass flying guys like that. Only it's going to be over here. And now it's a portal to Undercity, but over here will be the one that takes us where we need to be. So there's a nice little Ret Paladin there. Or no, I'm sorry, that's a Protection Paladin. Cool. Older gear set. Still looks clean. I don't like this set as much, though, because that fits like a dress. The chest piece does have the legs included with it, so I don't wear that one a whole lot as a result. But I do like the way it looks. It's always looked like a nice set. Especially for some reason the Paladins and that white and gold with the red just fits. I don't think that shield fits at all. I would definitely suggest redoing that, and you can see how the sword just doesn't fit. There are tons of other things that would fit that better. You know, if we come in here and hit a shield. Let's do a shield here. And, you know, he would want something in the higher resolution. That's more fitting. Let's go to something I don't have. Alright, so here's our Zeppelin. We're going to get on this, and we're going to search his little transmog thing. Something more in lines with that. I don't know if it would be that specifically, but the horde setup that he has is more orcish than what I would like. Let's look for something cleaner. Looking for clean, something that screams paladin, you know. Something not quite as obvious as that, but something much, much cleaner. See, this is too old school, older resolution. We want something bold for that paladin, like he's collected gold all his life. You know, something like this. Something like that would fit. This is big, obtuse, it's gold, it's... doesn't have to be vibrant, it's dirty, like it's been worked. Almost even that. I think that would be fucking cool. You put that on him, that'd be alright. That would kind of work. Kind of. This is too different, but I could see where that would work too. There you go. That would be cool as well. Now that comes off of Mythic, so you're not doing this. This would be badass. That would be badass. And it, you could always do either of these. You know, that I think would be cool as well. Again, these are all Mythics from the last expansion, so those things will start dropping for me here with the next expansion itself. When it releases, then the old one will be, Shadowlands will be 2 expansions old, which means it should hit in the legacy loot. Hopefully they haven't done away with that. If they've done away with legacy loot, it's going to be a real pain in the fucking dick. It is one of the things that bugs me about Legion. Is it Legion? No, BFA. Okay, so now we are over here and we are flying to this area. So we're going to get on our dragon mount, which is a hell of a lot faster than any of these other mounts. We're going to make sure that we're flying the right direction in the mini-map. We're going to right-click here to get out of it on a regular map, and we're going to start pressing all these buttons. E to get me a little higher, and that's just the way I have my buttons set up. And then we're going to surge forward. Fast, fast, fast. Fast, 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 fast. And we're going for this area here, roughly. We'll zoom in on it here as we get closer. There's Karazhan. I will be running that. There is still a bunch of loot out of Karazhan that I need. But for now, we're going to stay focused so my ADD doesn't get me. And we're going to start farming these essences of water. We're going to see what else these guys drop to. Okay, so now we're here. We're close enough. That's where we're headed, is up here. So let's go find this little riverbed. And we're going to fly down. And I'm sure water elementals are what I'm going to see. Yep, there we go. So we're going to smash the shit out of these water elementals. We're going to see how fast we can farm. That's probably... yeah, hopefully they respawn fast. See, this may not be the best guy for this because of how far apart they are. That's why I wasn't real sure if I should bring him or not. Alright, we got one. We got one. Respawn rate doesn't seem to be too high on these guys, so we may just be able to go around. There's 2. I like that. Oh, he's very loud with his yelling. He keeps yelling like that. I'm gonna turn his shit down. What time is it? 8:34. Let's move off of YouTube here so they don't pull this shit down. We'll cut that off. We're gonna fire